and you are misrepresenting or making false allegations. Those people that are out there promoting these conspiracy theories and falsely accusing people like Harry Billups, Amir Mohammed, falsely accusing people like Reggie Wright and Sharitha Knight. You know, when you're falsely accusing those people, that's when I think you're putting your life in harm's way. But when you tell the truth, I think the truth is the best defense, both in court and in public.
It's a question people have been asking for nearly 2 decades. Who killed rap star Tupac Shakur? It's one of the most notorious murders in Las Vegas, and despite dozens of witnesses and multiple investigations, it's never been solved.
Several informants told investigators the white Cadillac used in the shooting of Tupac was rented. However, police were never able to track down the car. We also reached out to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. They told us they couldn't comment because the investigation into the death of Tupac Shakur is still ongoing. Greg Kading, the LAPD officer we spoke to for this piece, has published a book and has a documentary about his findings. He was taken off the investigation after an internal review found him guilty of altering witness statements.
All right, Mr. Kading, you signed in, but you've not been sworn in. So if you're testifying today, which I assume you are, could you raise your right hand? Your testimony will be under oath today. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in these proceedings will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you. I'm asking you is taking a look at your last paragraph on Exhibit 19. So you believe that you captured the video of investigative activities, and then you stated in your testimony that you are presuming that because of that investigation that he in fact removed the camera?
I don't know if he removed it or not. I just know what I did. This is what I used to peek inside the hole. It's just a little light.
You state that you shined a pinhole camera or you shine your flashlight to investigate my pinhole camera inside my locked storage unit. You remember vividly doing that, shining the light into the pinhole camera?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At no time you never bashed the camera with anything, any weapon or anything?
I wasn't carrying a weapon.
Okay.
Quick question for you, Mr. Kading. The flashlight that you used to take a look in that hole, how wide is that?
If I recall, because this is the flashlight that I always carry, it's a very small.
So it looks.
And so it would have been something like.
So it looks smaller than the actual hole in the storage unit for the camera, correct?
I'm not sure I understand.
In other words, this object that you shined, the flashlight, you took a look in the hole to see what it was or what was in there, is actually smaller than the actual hole.
I believe so. Yeah,
Okay. So based on what you said, that looks like maybe less than half an inch. It's probably maybe. I'm thinking between a quarter and a half. Is that? I mean, just take a look at the.
Yeah.
Between a quarter and a half. Is that about right?
If I used this flashlight.
Which one do you remember what you used?
Well, this is what I always carry, and this would have made the most sense. But I have I have multiple flashlights.
Okay, but this one that you think you used is between a half and a quarter, approximately.
Correct.
Okay.
Have you ever wondered what Greg Kading's boss thinks about Greg Kading's theory presented in Murder Rap? What I'm going to show you is an article written by LA Weekly, which came out publicizing Greg Kading's book. It was published on Thursday, October 6, 2011. And in the article, they spoke to Kevin McClure. Kevin McClure was the supervisor of the task force that was headed up by Robbery Homicide that was looking into the Christopher Wallace's murder. This is the guy who was the boss of Greg Kading and ahead of the whole task force. He's quoted in this article as saying, "I have no problems with Greg, but investigators are like softball parents. Their kid is always better than your kid. We followed every viable lead that we had at the time and pushed it to the point where we needed something else to occur in order to move the case forward. And that something, someone else coming forward to corroborate what we had, didn't happen." And this is important because Kevin McClure was the guy who made the decision to shelve the case. He's the guy that made the call to shut down the task force. So Kevin McClure, the supervisor of the task force, looking into the cases of Christopher Wallace, stands firm in his belief that Greg Kading's perception was skewed. So much to the point that he shut down the task force with 0 arrests because there just wasn't any corroborating evidence of what Greg's theory was and what he put into Murder Rap. And a fun fact out there, the task force that Greg actually was a part of was responsible for more than 50 cases being thrown out. And the only reason that Valletta Wallace decided to withdraw her lawsuit against the LAPD was because she felt that the LAPD was relaunching the investigation in full force. Come to find out, not only did they close this task force down, shortly after Valletta Wallace, who's Biggie Small's mom, dropped her lawsuit. They shelved the case. And even Greg Kading's own boss states that Greg's perception was skewed and that the task force followed every viable lead but never found any evidence to corroborate what is laid out in Murder Rap.